I picked up a guy named Sky. His eyes were so magical. He had the most magical eyes. And apparently he had an ex who was really great. Really, really great at like bedroom options, but was a jerk. And he just moved down here to be big and important and amazing. And he let me listen to him talk about it's gonna be fun when his ex sees him. And probably misses the sex, because what he doesn't know is that ex really loved the sex with him as much as he loved the sex with the ex. But the ex was kind of a arrogant, wealthy jerk prick type, and really wasn't a good man. Like, even though he was so satisfied and happy, he still wasn't a good man to that boy. So I'm glad he's gonna get all big and important, and the guy's gonna walk by and be like, boy, you lost something really good. But he was so funny. He was talking about how, like, I guess his ex dated another boy, and that's who he came out here to be big and important with. I was like, oh, that's gonna be funny when that guy walks by and two of his exes have built an amazing life together. That's just hilarious stuff. But anyway, somebody at the Walmart, so I was sitting at the Palm Springs Walmart. Somebody wanted to know, how do you tap into sexual powers? Oh, you just, my queen, I'm interested in sexual powers. And then they'll get back to you whenever they can. So they might not answer your prayer in 2 seconds or in a second, but they'll answer. And when they answer, they'll say, sex powers, this would be all the things you need to know. Because, when you're in the mood to get sex powers, you're like, hey, people, I'm trying to be with somebody here. Like, I want my sex powers at both of our moral levels, so that it's the same so all of our moral level powers are the same. But I got people here, so like right now, they'll teach you how you do that, because it's really impossible for God to answer all prayers constantly. Like, so we prioritize. So then you're right. Like, how do you get sex powers on the man? You do, but they'll walk you through how you do that, because it's kind of like tapping in, or tap. It's like putting a hose inside of yourself, even when God's busy. They're teaching you how to, like, siphon the power of God, so that it doesn't matter if somebody can't answer you. When I'm playing games with the power of God, then I sit and cater to those people, or baby and cater to them. But see, I only can do it when I have free time. So I would recommend it to you to do it that way. That way you can tap into the powers of sexual powers of whatever gods are putting powers out there on demand, and you don't have to wait. Because you seem like the type that when you're ready, but like the rest of the time you don't really think about personal stuff like that. But when you want to jump right in. So I'd say that way. A lot of people will work with goddesses or me and stuff, but like they work with us, like when we're free, when they're free. But you seem like the type, like, when I want to do something, I want to do something. Okay, then you probably want to do it that way. And somebody else saw me at the Palm Springs Walmart, and they wanted to know if their brother would qualify for a miracle. They didn't bring their brother that time, but they've been to the Palm Springs Walmart before, and they don't know if my powers are benefiting their brother, who is, what do you call that? I want to say AC/DC, but I think that's a band. What do you call that? ADHD? I think it's like ADHD or something. He has to take medicines, and he has a hard time, like, focusing or getting very upset out of the blue and stuff. I think it's one of those kind of things. He does qualify for a miracle. And when you guys go to the Palm Springs Walmart, he was getting a little bit better. So when your brother was kind of happier than he's ever been, that was when he was absorbing my powers through the Palm Springs Walmart. So yeah, definitely, I was there because you saw me. But yeah, go ahead and keep taking them. And like, I'll tell you if anything changes. Otherwise, it should keep helping them. And then there was some guy that was like, sex powers sound great. And you must have some kind of mesmerizing vagina. You have no idea. But mine's like an old lady, intricate, robotic, never-ending built reality. If you want like something kind of fun to learn about goddess vaginas and stuff, just think or say, my queen, my queen, my queen. Gods don't flinch about sex when they answer prayer. So when you think or say, my queen, my queen, my queen, and you want to talk about a goddess's vagina and how it's built by these gods, a god who doesn't flinch or get embarrassed will start talking to you. And they can sit and show you how they actually build these monumental body parts of gods and children of gods and stuff that are just dumbfounding. And it is kind of fun if you're going to get into those things to learn the ins and outs of what it would be like if you were shoving your dick in a tornado. Like, what is this stuff all about? It is kind of fun to find out, and gods love to explain it. And maybe you might get some girls interested in getting little cutesy mini tornadoes in their vaginas or something to like rock boy worlds down here or something. That would be pretty fun. It would bring the power of good, so we'd be grateful as gods. So yeah, that's probably the best thing to do to find out about all those kind of things. When it comes to my husbands, they really do want to live with their penis inside of me, but it's a power. It's like a... Okay, so if you shove your finger in an electric outlet, you'd probably, you could die if you got too much electricity. And if you mess with an electric box, you could die with too much electricity. So like, I guess I don't use the right analogies now that I think about it. When a husband puts their dick inside of me, it's like your dick suddenly becomes something that can like milk and absorb and pull power and more. And it's very highly addictive until you just can't live without it on overload. So for that too, you'd want to think or say, my queen, my queen, my queen, because it might be fun. I mean, a husband wants to have 5 billion tons of power, but they also have to take care of angels and gods and have a lot of responsibility. You guys might like to make your penises into something that like, or you might want your little human girlfriend to get a little bit of power up in that shit. So they could so when you put your penis in them, like you have something to absorb and like milk out of them. That's really, really fun. And by the way, you can milk their female liquids into your dick hole. Gods know how to do it, and it makes you like addicted to shit. Just like you like to eat private part areas, boys are like dogs. They love smells and girl parts. Girl liquids inside of a dick hole after a god transforms you to have those kind of powers. Really, really, really fun stuff. Very addictive fun stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of fun things you can learn through the power of God. And gods are good at talking about personal, private matters like it's nothing. So don't even worry. When you pray, my queen, my queen, my queen, the right gods or angels or more will answer you that you'd want to like talk to about personal things like that. But yeah, like I said, the power of good would be everywhere, and you guys could learn and grow, and like all of it is fun. But yeah, husbands are overdone because I'm just too powerful, so they get very overdone. But like, who needs that much power? But if you want to know the difference, you can sit and think or say, my queen, my queen, my queen. What's it like when Zeus is with like Aphrodite? My queen, my queen, my queen, my queen. What is it like when like a god who's so old, he's like the father of gods and the mother of gods? What about when they're getting jiggy building these powerful sex overloaded realities? You can ask all of them about any of it. And then there was the last question I got. The last question I got was, how can I become more holy or more good or more perfect? I'm sure you can absorb the power of God to be more and more better and better and better, to be that holiness or that light or that perfection that comes straight from God, to be a perfect, like, example on earth. And it would help me to want to be so much better and so much more good. And I really, really would love to just drown in being a better, good person until it's that easy to be so good, because I really don't like the way people are so not great. And, I go to a church, and just like you say, you're always saying church like has people that would do in the house of God what's just not appropriate. I go to the church, and I've been to like a few churches, and like I can't find people that really emanate the beauty of the goodness of God, and really truly want to perfectly be as good or holy or sacred or as amazing as they could be for somebody, trying to model themselves after the truly holy and sacred heavens. I'd definitely go to my queen, because that's a hard one. When it comes to becoming something that's not just a preacher telling stories and wanting money, you want to become something real in those categories. That stuff is really powerful, really amazing, very spectacular, highly superior reality. But it's a hardcore reality you have to work on and build. But it's kind of fun and rewarding and exciting, but it's hard work and dedication. So I'd say my queen, and talk to them for a while about it, because that one's kind of hard to go over on a video. Till next one.